recently caught up with Tamar Braxton. And I was asking her about her relationship with her ex, David Adefeso. They had this whole domestic violence restraining order that was filed, and it just got dismissed. And so the latest update about this case against Tamar, because he had filed against her, reveals that it's been thrown out. Now, Tamar was recently on the show, and I asked her about this relationship after it was tumultuous. Remember, she had sent me the private message that I made public with the bruise on her arm or whatever. And so when I interviewed her, she kind of downplayed it, which I thought she was trying to protect him. Little did I know she was trying to get this damn thing dismissed. Okay, so this is a video from the interview. Take a look. So there was this picture right here that I want to ask you about. This photo was a bruise that I believe he put on your arm. Now I know I'm probably violating the friend code by talking about something publicly that I haven't asked permission for, but I want to make sure that because there are so many women that do look at you as a champion for many things. You overcome, obstacles. You stand in your truth. You say it like you mean it. You show up with grace. You're a great mother. You're a great sister, and you're a strong Black woman. I want to make sure that when we stand with the hashtag Protect Black Women, that protecting Black men, although a priority, isn't in a way of slighting who you are to other women. So that bruise, he grabbed you on your arm, correct?
Okay, so it's a lot of variables as to why I can't give you a direct answer. Okay. That day in the car was a horrible day, and it was a lot of emotions. It was a lot happening, you know. And I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm talking about the experience that we both had with suicide, right? And how hard that was for both of us, and how difficult in that moment it was for the both of us to figure out what had just transpired in our relationship, in our friendship, in our family. And it was very, very hard. It was probably the worst argument I've ever been in my life, and I'm pretty sure that I can speak for him in that aspect. But I'm going to tell you that um, David and I was not in an emotionally nor physically abusive relationship. But I am going to say that that was the worst argument we've ever had in our lives.
Hmm.
Wow.
So, I mean, she didn't really confirm it, but she didn't deny it. And now that this restraining order has been dismissed and now she's out of that relationship completely, I mean, the thing that I want to know is why do so many women, you know, still seemingly protect a man when clearly he has fucking issues? I'll say allegedly, but I think he has issues, right? Why do women do that?
Well, she clearly loves him, you know what I mean? And also, too, whenever you're in an abusive situation, whether it's emotionally, physically, or sexually, if you love the person, you feel guilt about making them look bad in public. And so I feel like, regardless of what happened, she probably did some things that she wasn't proud of. And she probably has some guilt about how she showed up. Because if you listen to the clip, she said they both lost their way during that argument. And so she probably has some guilt about what she did as far as getting pulled into such a nasty argument, but also probably wants to protect him because she did love him at some point and probably still loves him. And so it's never fun as a woman, if you're a very nurturing person, to watch somebody that you care about get dragged in the court of public opinion. I have a lot of exes that we have words privately, but I would never want to drag them or bring their families into something nasty in public. So it's misdirected love and compassion. Unfortunately, a lot of us do that, myself included.
Mm. I mean, I can't
Yeah,
really
well, I
speak
mean,
to it, of course. Yeah, go.
no, no, go ahead, damage.
No, I was going to say I really can't speak to why women stay or protect their abuser, but I wanted to ask you, Blue, just in your mind, how hard is it for people to walk away from these situations? Because thank God that she walked away.
Well, I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make is that we think that we, in sound mind and body, can speak to what somebody in her position would do. The thing that happens with abuse is you're groomed. So your reality is very slowly but surely distorted. And by the time you
Mm.
are in a flat out abusive relationship, you've already made all types of compromises that you normally wouldn't make. So the line of what's appropriate slowly but surely moves. And so if you've ever been in a relationship where you were like, yo, I was tripping in that relationship, why did I stay so long? Even if you weren't smacked across the mouth, you in that moment know exactly what it's like to be in a relationship that distorts your reality. And so a lot of times when you're in an abusive relationship, your mind is so warped, you can't think like your regular self.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I had a sister that was once in an abusive relationship, and I mean, I think I've talked about on this show. I mean, me and my brothers had to physically threaten him and do things in order to get her away from him. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that she's left and she's now with a man who loves her and, hasn't put hands on her. And, I just don't understand why people stay in those relationships. It's not just women, because men are also in abusive relationships. And I'm glad that, Tamar has found freedom from that situation. I asked her in the interview, would you ever go back to him? And she said, absolutely not. I really felt that. The
Mm.
other thing she said in the interview that a lot of people online are responding to is that she created the show The Real, with her ex-husband Vince and uh, a couple other people in telepictures. And baby, they are good. They're getting mad because I thought Lonnie Love created the show the way she be
No, we
acting.
all did. We all did. She went on the Breakfast Club and sold it and characterized it as if she had created that show. She was like, I was the first one they chose, X, Y, and Z. So, Lonnie Love, if that's true, sis, you have some explaining to do because I usually defend you, but you sold that totally different if Tamar really developed that show. That is messy
You know
boots.
what I need to do? I need to go get that Breakfast Club clip. I need to do a Johnny. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna create a clip where I just ask the question and I ask for a meeting with Lonnie Love. I need to meet with you, Lonnie. There are questions in the HR department. We need to understand who created the reel, because if you're being unreal with us, we're gonna get real on Instagram. I need to know, did Tamar create the reel? Did Lonnie Love create the reel? Tamara, she's out trapped in the plantation with her husband. And then I don't know, Jeezy got Jeannie locked up, which I actually love them together. And I love
Yeah.
Adrian. Adrian's been one person that has supported Hollywood a lot for a long time. And I love, what's the girl named Garcelle? Now, Garcelle, we know you got real with your ex-husband when you sent that email to all the agents saying that he had fucked some other woman behind your back. We know that you can keep it real, but I need you to bring a little bit more pizzazz. I need Amanda Seales back on the panel. I need Amanda Seales to walk in with her afro and say, bitch, it's Black History Month every motherfucking month. I need it to be real at the real. Right now, I don't see the show lasting longer than 2 more years. Mark my words, the real's
Mm.
going to get canceled because it's boring. But I do want to hear about Lonnie, because we've had Lunel here on the show and people keep pointing out that Lonnie is a bully. And I don't know. I've never met her. So I mean, I know I did. I met her when I was on the show, but I don't know her. And I want to hope and pray that Lonnie's not the bully people are painting her to be. But if she lied about creating the real or gave the wrong intimation that she created the real, baby, that ain't gonna be good.
Hopefully she responds because that I even posted that clip because I was shocked by that. I hope that she clears it up and explains to us what's going on because I usually defend you, sis, but I don't have any defense for this one. Sorry.
Well, let's walk through it. If she indeed did not create it, what happens? Like, what's going to happen?
Well,
Well,
for
I think
years she
the
made
show
it
was
seem
lost.
like she was
I
like the
think
backbone.
Well, I think the show has
Mm.
lost credibility over the years. With Tamar leaving, it started to lose credibility because you started to see cracks in the veil. Then, when you've had this turnover of different hosts, and then people who have been guests of the show or people that have known Lonnie or close to Lonnie have come out and said things about her being a bully, or the characterization of her on the show isn't one of about being girly, girls. And then she's actually come out and made it seem like she created the show and that she's like the pillar of the show. And so, if that posturing has been improperly placed, I just think it continues to crack at the credibility. Look at what's happening with Ellen. People are talking about her show getting canceled after this next year. So, I think it'll be problematic for the show for sure, because there's a lot of response online to the interview, specifically about that part with Tamar.
Mm.
Amanda Seals was their last hope to make it spicy, and Amanda confirmed that the producers are a little bit racially insensitive. And I think once that happened, I think a lot of us checked out. I don't know anybody
Mm.
who's really been even Garcelle, who I love, my fellow Haitian sister. She's a Caribbean woman. She's very, very spicy. On the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she was a fan favorite for being spicy, which is why I think she got put on the Real. But whatever's happening on the Real neutered her as well. So what's going on where all these Black women with big, beautiful personalities come on the Real and then it turns into Get Out? That's not a coincidence. One time, maybe. Twice, maybe. But 3 times, this is the third Black woman who's lost her light once she gets on that show. I smell smoke. Something's going on.
Mm.